Just after midnight on February 22nd, 2010, 3 individuals, masked and armed, entered my son's home. About 3 minutes after they entered, my son was dead. Basically executed, shot through the back. 5 o'clock in the morning, we get a knock on our door. The police are there to let us know.
Your son has been murdered, and I'm never going to see him again. And
The 3 individuals that actually went into my son's house and committed the murder were from Toronto, and one was a friend of a local fellow who planned it and set it all up. There were 3 trials for the 4 individuals. Criminal justice system, it's a legal system. It's not a justice system.
there's no healing process because of these trials. Every time we enter that courtroom, we relive the entire murder, every single aspect of it.
This whole legal system is cold, clinical, and lacks humanity. Separate bail hearings, separate prelims, separate hearings based on admissibility of evidence, appeals to go through. Multiply that by 3.
The interpretations are different from judges to judges or lawyers to lawyers and defense lawyers to defense lawyers. I read somewhere where they asked that the system be fixed. Well, it can be fixed. We need a new system that works. The delays were really annoyed about the delays of the court system. It's you go in expecting a trial to start, and it really doesn't, because anything could happen. The lawyers are not prepared. The defense has stalled tactics. The accused sometimes the accused didn't show up on time, or the witnesses, they were unable to reach the witnesses, so they were all delays. So it was frustrating going, knowing the dates of these trials and having to book those times off and having to show up at court only to be told that, I'm sorry, but it's going to be delayed for another 2 or 3 weeks, or you come back tomorrow or come back next week. So that was very frustrating.
The local guy who's out on appeal now, he lives about 5 or 10 minutes down the road in the neighborhood here.
Where's the fairness there? He's murdered my son, and he gets to walk around our neighborhood.
Yeah, here we are, almost 7.5 years after his death, and we're still trying to deal with his clothes. I couldn't even touch his stuff for about 5 years.
It's been 7.5 years since my son was murdered, and we are still waiting for more trials and more appeals to go through the system.
And eventually, one guy that was just sentenced 12 years, his parole is going to be coming up, 2/3, so that's only a few years down the line.
I feel there's no end to this. There's no moving on. There's absolutely no moving on.